Got to work on my smile.
Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Dearborn, Managing Director on Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk, for an update on technical levels to watch in the Nasdaq-100 with the index significantly outperforming on NVDA earnings. And I hear you chuckling over there because it really is. I mean, it just brought, with the exception of the, some of the hardware names, it just brought everything up.
It really has. It's all about growth. The NDX is all about growth as well, and by growth we mean AI. And NVIDIA just blew it out of the water, forecasting forward, and it's pulling everybody up in the space. It's very interesting. We don't talk about this too often, but you have 11 stocks in the NDX making new 52-week highs today. But on the flip side, you also got 6 companies, almost all in consumer, making 52-week lows. So that's showing you the dichotomy of the index and the market. Even though leadership is strong, leadership is narrow here.
Right.
So that's a large concern about the future performance of the index over the next couple of weeks. Again, if you look back to what COVID did, and you look at the FANG names as they were quoted, and how they pulled everybody up, is it going to pull the tail? NVIDIA could be the next trillion-dollar name out there that pulls the tail moving forward. And if AI is the leader there, people want to buy growth. You're buying not for next year's earnings, you're buying 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road. And it's worked for most of the other large cap names. There's no reason for it not to work here as long as the playbook continues to be well. And one thing we don't talk about much today is the debt ceiling. That's taken a back seat to the prospects of future growth. So again, growth is the driver. The hullabaloo that's going on in Washington, D.C. is taking the back seat. Markets are very, very mixed, but the NDX is very strong today and powerful, making new highs, recapturing what we were looking at back in 2021. Very strong move.
Well, you know what? It goes back to fundamentals, right? So it feels like NVIDIA is the only story out there today, and we've been talking about this for years now. It's macro that is driving what's happening in the markets. This is a company that came out that crushed it on earnings and revenue. They guided really well. That's fundamentals. You trade on that, not necessarily interest rates and companies moving off of that. Like this is true fundamental trading.
This is legit.
Right.
This is legit.
Let's take a look at your first chart here. Give us some fresh levels to watch.
Yep, absolutely. So the chart, the index opened well, and it's trading near the 52-week high today. Still trading near the highs today. We opened at 13,111. 13,920, and the 50-day moving average is well below 13,111. We want to try to hold this opening price to keep the candle bullish on the move, because what we're looking for is a setup of a new trading range. And you have to go back a couple of years to look at this range. And that range we're looking at is 13,600, 14,350, which is the target to the upper band. Support is tight at 13,740 and 13,600, with resistance at 14,050, 14,200. Again, we want to try to hold this opening price today. If we do, it's going to be very bullish for the holiday week to come.
Let's take a look at the constituents leading the way, and I'm sure those stocks you were just referencing, those 10 to 11 stocks.
Absolutely, right? So obviously NVIDIA, outperformance, Cadence, Synopsys, AMD having a good day. 52-week highs, as I mentioned before. I got to read all 11 of them, right? And they're right where you expect. AMD, ASML, Broadcom, Cadence, KLA Corp, Lam, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Palo Alto, and Synopsys. And on the flip side, on the 52-week lows, you have JD.com, Keurig Dr. Pepper, PayPal, Amgen, Qualcomm, and Walgreens.
All right, Chris, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.